Hello and welcome to Module 2 of Dance Music Production for Beginners in Live. In this module we're going to look at how you make a bass line using bass samples and a simpler instrument. We'll then look at ways of altering your bass line to come up with different types of sounds. We're going to start by loading up the live set for Module 2 which you downloaded from the Sonic Academy website along with this tutorial. Now we're going to create a new MIDI track next to the drum beat in MIDI track 1, which we'll use for our bass line. We can do this by selecting MIDI track from the Insert menu. This is a good point to rename your track so you can easily see which track refers to which sound. Click on the track name and select Rename from the File menu. Now we can type in the name of the sound in that track, which then becomes the track name. We're going to look at the Instruments browser to find Live Sampler to load our bass sound into. The name of the sampler in Live is an instrument called Simpler, and we can drag and drop that onto the bass track to load it up. Simpler has one slot available for loading individual samples, so we can grab the bass sound from the Sonic Academy Resources folder and drop it in. All we need to do now is create a MIDI clip. Select Draw Mode and we're ready to create our bass line. On the left hand side of our MIDI clip window we can see a keyboard. This means we can have our sample play any note we like. We can preview the sound of those notes by activating the monitor switch and clicking on the notes. If we move to the left of the keyboard, my cursor becomes a magnifying glass, and if we click, hold down the mouse and move left and right, we can zoom in and out on the keys. Alternatively, if we click and drag up or down, we can view a range of different keys. Now before we start programming in some notes, we need to play a beat to accompany it, just to hear our rhythm. So we go back to the drum machine, solo the kick drum and play the beat. Now we can start programming in some notes and actually make a bass line. Notes can be placed anywhere within the grid to make different sounds and rhythms. To start off with, you want to try programming something simple. Then deactivate draw mode and try moving the notes around just to see how it affects the bass line. At this point we're going to load our full drum track in to see how it works with the bass line by taking the solo off the kick drum. Now we've completed our bass line, we can use some of the controls in a simpler instrument to alter the sound of the bass line. We can move such things as the filter, attack, and sustain. Creating a bass line can take a lot of time and a lot of hard work. Even the most seasoned professionals can sometimes spend hours trying to make it happen. So don't be frustrated if you're not getting instant results. Listening back to tracks that you really like and trying to replicate the bass lines can sometimes be great practice and will help you understand how they work. So let's recap. In this module we've looked at how to create a bass line using the simpler instrument and alter that sound to make it work with your track. In the next module, we look at how you create a synth part.